Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him. He'll direct my path. That's what He was doing when He said, see everything coming from me. Don't look around you. Trust me.
There were just the few of us on the staff at the beginning. Right after that, everybody, the group had left at that particular time. But we had a tremendous group of lay people that wanted him to stay, and they were perfectly willing to do anything.
You know, God never looks for large crowds. It's never been His plan. In fact, He always usually takes a big crowd and whittles it down to a small crowd before He does what He really wants to do.
There were Sundays when we had 13 people in that choir loft singing. And I mean, my heart was broken. I mean, I love these people. And I thought, what in the world are we going to do? And I was just beside myself. I sat at my desk and cried and cried and cried, day after day.
I think he would consider that a time of pruning, and pruning results in growth, always. And so the church exploded in growth.
I didn't have a big plan. I just knew that God wanted us to grow. I just thought, God, I'm going to trust you. And it's like He would just open the door and give me a little insight into something. And when I looked around, I realized that the only property we owned was that one block on which the sanctuary sat, covered up all the block except 80 parking spaces. Didn't own another scratch.
The opportunities were all around us, and the church was growing. We were landlocked, but yet it was a time where downtown was transitioning. And so properties were becoming available, but they still weren't cheap.
One day I was coming back to church, and I saw this parking lot on the other side of the Biltmore Hotel, which is right across the street from the church. So it's like God said, buy that. I thought, well, now, wait a minute. It's on the other side of this big, you can't even see it from the church. So I got really convicted about that God wanted to do something. So I challenged the church. I said, don't ask me why. I can't tell you why. Except I said, look how we're growing and look where we are. I said, so I want to challenge you. Let's buy that parking lot. It's $125,000. Let's trust God for the money. Not going to borrow any. Let's trust Him for it. Well, people got excited, and we gave the money.
And Dr. Stanley challenged the church to prayer and to trust God for the money to do that. And we actually, it was long about that time that we started our missions program, the church. And Dr. Stanley said many times, when the church got to where they did what was right for missions, then the property opened up that we could buy.
It's like God set that all up. Then we started buying that property. But the mission is what came first. And that's how we learned to give, really.
It was giving and sacrificing. It was the people of God saying, we are on a mission and we're going to trust God. But part of trusting God is obeying God. And with Dr. Stanley, it was trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus. But to trust, that's the faith part, and to obey.